A strange noise from behind froze the woman in her tracks with fear. When she curiously followed the sound, she realized it was coming from a rock. Driven by curiosity, the woman just touched it. She didn't realize that in a flash, the sky suddenly turned around. The scenery around her suddenly changed. She traveled from 1949 to 1749. Looking at the unfamiliar surroundings, Ella was a little nervous, although she was still in Stonehenge. But under close scrutiny, this place seems different from what she remembers. She tried to find her way home. But when she got to the side of the road, she realized that her car had vanished into thin air. She tried to remember where she parked, but the more she thought about it, the more confused she felt. She had no choice. Ella had no choice but to go on foot, but she hadn't gotten very far. The sound of a gunshot sent shivers down his spine. He looked over his shoulder. A couple of soldiers in period costume were chasing the fugitives. Ira thought it was a period drama. As he looked around to see what was going on, a passing soldier suddenly fired a shot at him. This scared the hell out of Ira. He wondered if they use real bullets in movies nowadays. He muttered and ran away, but fell down. When she woke up again, she found herself in a room full of men. All of them were fierce. Ella cowered in a corner, terrified. She was terrified that they might hurt her, but luckily, they didn't have anything else in mind for Ella. After some questioning, Ella explained that she was just an ordinary person who had gotten lost. The warriors didn't fully believe Ira. They decided to keep him here for the time being. At that moment, a young man named Jack dislocated his arm. The others tried to put it back together with brute force. Ella stepped in to stop them. If we use force, we'll lose his arm, because he was a doctor. So he stepped in and used his expertise to help Jack get his dislocated arm back. And after doing that, after all this, people began to change their attitude toward Ira. The group planned to run away from Rand overnight. Ella was put on a horse with Jack. But Ella's mind was still troubled. She tried to find a way back to the modern world, but every time she approached Stonehenge, she was stopped by the warriors. But that night, Ella was walking outside the camp. Outside the camp, she heard a low chanting sound. She followed the sound and found some warriors performing some kind of ritual. She was curious and was about to approach, but she was stopped by Jack. She explained that it was a local tradition, that outsiders were not allowed to participate. Ella nodded and had no choice but to leave it at that, but her mind was filled with more curiosity about the world. As time went on, Ella became more accustomed to life at the camp. Her relationship with Jack grew closer. They often went out hunting and gathering herbs together.